Morning, guys. My name is Rudo, and as you know, I'm a full-time crypto trader. And today we're going to be looking at our Bitcoin short. Okay, so if you're new to the channel, let me know. Say hi, and for all the OGs, let me know whether you're printing money in the short by giving me a 777. And I know not a lot of people is going to be doing that, because nobody likes to short Bitcoin because it means your HODL bags are going to go down. So let's see where you guys are at. And then, yeah, let's get into this. So Bitcoin real quick. This was the last setup that I shared with you guys. Now, what I've done is I've cleaned up my charts a little bit because, yeah, I tend to, my stuff it tends to be very messy. So let's just quickly have a look at the setups I shared with you guys within the last week or so, last couple of weeks. So we tried to go long on a swing long for Bitcoin for higher high, and that obviously failed. Then I gave you guys the short with the invalidation at 100K. And as we started grinding a little bit more sideways, there was another attempt at that. So I gave you that same short again. So both of these opportunities are still good, and you're reaching TP objectives of that on both of them. And this is the part where the tile comes in, and evidence is Bitcoin bottoming. Okay. And if so, what we're going to do. So, and that's the big thing now. So if we're reaching these bottom end areas where the objective was for the take profit for the short, it means that we need to start considering going long. Okay. So let's switch on the analysis that I've shared with you guys. And I'm going to take away the setup so that the screen is just nice and clean. And then let's take a quick step back and just see what it is I'm looking for to trade my next, or looking for to identify my next trade direction. Okay, now when we look at the past, it's always easy to know what you should have done. But as the market has this tendency to repeat itself, but never, rhyme, never repeat itself, sorry, you have a scenario where you can learn a lot from previous structures moving into the future. So you don't need to look that far back to kind of get that. So what did we have? The last time around, we had a nice uptrend. Then we had strong bearish divergence. We had price fall below the pivot. And then we had price hovering in a range. But what it did was it had this imbalance that was kind of left unchecked. And for that reason, there was price had to go and fill that imbalance. And that only created the bottom of our range. Now, this was from March last year all the way till September last year. And then we had what is called a reaccumulation pattern, which means that it looks like a distribution pattern, but then when it comes to, oh, we're going down, the market changes its minds, and you get your trend within the range or your jump across the creek. So it means it goes from the ice to the creek, okay, jump across the creek. And then you're in your phase E of a Wyckoff accumulation. So your phase A would start there when your momentum is lost. Your phase B would be this, building your cause, okay? This means that is why and how the market is printing. Is the range highs big players getting out, or is the range highs engineered to scare people out so that big players can get in at the bottom? So you'll be studying the volume and all those things to try and figure that out. Then your phase C starts on the Wyckoff, and that's normally when your shakeout occurs, meaning price will leave the bottom of the range real quick, come right back, test it, and then your phase D starts where you're looking into your jump across the creek, or your trend within range. That's the real way to look at it. Okay, so your phase C, D, and then phase E is when you're trending. Okay, and now we're doing exactly the same. We had our phase A get created, divergence. Okay, price made a higher high. RSI didn't support that. Okay, and now you can see things are moving a little faster than the last time round. That we've already entered our imbalance. So we could start saying to ourselves that we're establishing the bottom of the range now. Okay. Now, there was previous bottom of the ranges, like we did the last time round, but only when you get that scenario when the market really starts punishing you. So the 4 hours is really hard to kind of define that, but on the higher time frame, when the market really punishes everybody, that's when you get that bottom of the range, and it goes and finishes its unfinished business, meaning it goes to the imbalance. Okay, so think of an imbalance as two people playing on a balancing beam in the park. And there you've got a little skinny guy, okay, and he wants to go long. And there you've got a little overweight guy, and he wants to go short, okay? So who's going to be flying in the air when that guy jumps on? This little guy. So when he flies in the air, it means the market moves too fast, okay? And that imbalance is almost like a knee-jerk reaction. Because it went so fast, when it hits the beam, it's going to shoot this guy back up in the air, which means that he's still going to win long term, okay? But in this scenario, first, because of this overshoot, he's going to just get shot up slightly, and that's what price does. It goes to that imbalance, and then it returns to the normality, meaning the heavier side wins. It's simple. The bulls, the guys that's buying, the accumulation of Bitcoin long term, the adoption of Bitcoin long term, this is still the effect, and that's where that ends up. Okay, so that's what we're trying to achieve here. So I'm going to take all this new squibbles and delete them because they're irrelevant to what's going to be done next. Okay, so now that we have this, the question is it a good time to go long? Okay, so when the bottom of the range gets created, it's sometimes hard to just say go long, because there's many ways that we can look at this. Okay, so let's rather take a step back and say, okay, right, we were trending bearish now for forever, and the easiest way to do that is by creating a channel. Now, there's many ways you can draw that. You can actually go over to, this is, I think, for me, the easier way, the parallel channels. Okay, you click it at the top there, you click it at some other line close to, and then you start drawing it down to local lows. So you can see that the original parallel channel, okay, was revolving around that point. But then there was these moments when the market really shaked everybody out. So you had these liquidation events, okay? So it means that this parallel channel is probably a little bit bigger, and it needs to be on that size, which then, in effect, that axis, that whether we're going to turn around bullish or stay bearish, just moves down a little slightly, and you can see that that is the normality for price. So, or the midpoint for price. So that negotiation, that balancing beam that we were talking about, okay, price is jumping around, boom, then the imbalance, and then the heavy guy wins again, and. So in this instance, the predominant trend is still bearish, but we're in that area where price is now shot past certain areas too fast, and a reaction back up is probably due. Now, how high it's going to go, that's the question that I cannot answer, and the question that you actually should not be asking, because by the essence of trading, we don't want to know the future. We're looking for a setup. When the setup conditions are met, we act, and then we wait and take our profit. Simple as that. Okay, so that said, looking at where we are now, the price will probably creep itself back up to these areas, okay? But we can study this now. Let's have a look at what happens there. Once you have a liquidation event, okay, the market will almost be stunned or kind of muted in a way. It will kind of hover around that area to create a demand zone. So let's quickly look at a demand zone, something like 50% long-term FIB. So we will stay around that range to build a base, then create a demand zone. Now, a demand zone typically looks like that. So that was the demand zone. So let's quickly mark out the demand zone. This entire thing, but the additional demand zone is there. Now, in this instance, I will include that wick. Now, it's easy because the future tells us that that was a good demand zone. We won't know in the new setup whether that's going to be the case. And then when you have that demand zone, what price needs to do is try and defend it. And the worry that we have is when you lose the demand zone, so it deletes the demand that generates the push to the upside, then you need to start worrying about what? That the prices needs to go cheaper first before it moves on, and then cue the setup shared. So that's why I gave you guys another short, not because there was a line there, but because we deleted our demand. So now that we've done that, we've now made a new low. It resets the whole thing. So we're looking for exactly that same analysis to now play ourselves back. So we're waiting for the demand to get created. So for the next day or so, look, remember this 4-hour candles. So we'll have a couple of those candles print today. We're looking for a setup that looks something like that on the price candle structure. When we have that, we will have a demand zone, okay? And then it's in that demand zone that you need to start hunting for your longs. And the idea is if you trade your longs, you can actually then expect, best case scenario, that price, you see TradingView again is doing it to me again. It takes forever to load the menu buttons. I don't know if any of you guys experiencing the same thing. Is it just me? Because it's frustrating the hell out of me these days that it's doing this. See, it's already extending. So why am I clicking on the wrong thing there? Let's see. There we go. Extend left side. Right side. Okay. So best case scenario for us is that we build a base here and price then finds its way back there. Now, typically, this is now the part that I want to share before we sign off. Typically, what happens is when we get there, market needs to decide, are we going to make a higher high or not? Okay. And the way that you're going to be looking at that is simple. You're going to look at your pivots. Okay. So there was a pivot there. So I'm just going to mark that as a higher high line, just a little below that so that the lines don't overlap. And then you're going to go to your RSI and say to yourself, oh, shit. Okay. RSI, we're making higher highs on that. We're making higher highs on that. So we've got hidden bearish divergence. And for those that know, hidden bearish divergence is a continuation divergence. Oh, I clicked on the wrong image there. There you go. It's a continuation divergence. That means the market's going to go lower still. Okay. So same here. So Tian, yours is also acting up. So at least I feel better now because then I don't have to look for a problem here. Okay. And then in conclusion, if that then happens for Bitcoin, so it creeps itself up there, I'm just going to short the shit out of it again, guys. I'm going to give you another sell setup, and please take note, take action, and that's it. And that's the way you need to be trading this. The same now on the other side of this bottoming is I'm looking for what we did here. From a bullish perspective, okay? So the market kept on making higher highs, but the RSI didn't, okay? So what did we create? We created a bearish pivot, or thou shalt not cross pivot, meaning you remain bullish irrespective of the fact that there's divergence until price falls below that level, okay? So strong bearish divergence there. So until it falls below that level, and then you start thinking other things. So if we do that same thing here, although I'm saying we're close to bottoming, we can't really say we're bottoming just yet because there is maybe, and I mean, it's really hard to see that, maybe weak bullish divergence. That RSI is maybe slightly lower. I mean, come on, we're not really inventing. It's hard. It's not as crystal clear as I would want it to be. Okay, so maybe let's snap to that line and see. You can see it's so close. Okay, if I do that, it's so close, but it's there. Okay, so what needs to happen? Let's take away the RSI. Okay, if that is the case, that's the first pivot. Price needs to reclaim that thou shall not cross. Okay. And then one can argue that the end of this wave is there. But until we reach that area, you hold on to your shorts because potentially the market can still keep on swinging down. Time, if you're in a short, is your friend. Okay. If you're in a long time, isn't your friend. And that's just the nature. Now, last night, I wanted to go long there and I kind of got my ass handed in. We scalped a nice short there and that was nice. But, I was trying to, and the thing is, my short, for everybody in trading group, was sitting right there at 82,300. I was thinking, oh, it's so far away. My short, my stop limit for the long. And the market during the night found a way to just go and take my money and then leave. And that's the nature of it. You're trading against yourself in the end of the day. So these kind of things do happen. So yeah, be bearish, but understand that the beginnings, we're in the beginnings or the makings of strong bullish divergence, okay? And for that reason, there might be a long setup coming our way if the market moves on further. If not, any upside when we reach the previous resistance areas, areas where we wanted to buy, those areas will now be good sell areas. We will add to our shorts. Simple as that. Okay, there you have it, guys. That's it for Bitcoin. Okay, so although there's an imbalance, it doesn't mean that it's over. We can do this. We can still go lower still, and that's it. So there's the whole analysis explained. There's the direction of the market explained. Okay, you want to have more, want to know more, want to participate more. It's very simple. All you need to do is open a trading account with one of my partners. It's in the video description. Head over to the Discord, and then you can claim your access to the Discord. I do market tactics in the mornings for everybody there. I share my setups. We look at our trade setups. I trade live with the people in the community as well. So there's a lot more that's happening in the inside of the Discord. So if you want to be part of that, you know what to do. Now, here's the catch. Up until recently, I was under the impression everything was working. So if you want to do it right now, please don't, because none of the stuff seems to be working in the Discord. So Trader Me needs to figure out why. And once that is fixed, you will be able to open your tickets and join and sign up or claim your access. So you can sign up so long, get going, but you won't be able to claim any access or get any roles until I fix my problem there. Okay, there you have it, guys. And as a last little thing, make sure when you do open your account, like for instance, Blofin, what you need to do is just make sure that the referral name is also there. Just double check. You don't want to, yeah. Otherwise, the sponsorship deals that I have with them to grant you access doesn't work. And then, yeah, that's it. That's everything that I wanted to share with you guys. So thanks so much for taking the time with me. Okay, so shorts are doing well. I think it's time to start thinking long. Okay, and hopefully that will play out if we can get all the necessary things to kind of align for us. Have a lovely day. I'll see you in the afternoon with a HODL stream. HODL wise, big picture for coins like Ethereum and those, you know, not much has changed. Although Bitcoin is kind of hunting demand zones, you can see TradingView is a mess at the moment. I don't know. Maybe there's too many traders joining, or they've got a server issue. But I have this consistently where some charts don't load. So let's hope that this is loaded by the end of when I need to do the YouTube. Otherwise, we're not going to do much. But in any case, we're going to be looking at those and just kind of see where there is. And I know even the guys in the Discord are, you know, asking, you know, can we have a new HODL report? I want to get my entries in. And no, it's not ready yet. So even in the Discord, everybody's kind of waiting for that. And it will happen. It will happen. The market will come and the right time will come. So with investment, you do have time to be patient. Okay, simple as that. Thanks so much, guys. Have a lovely day. Chat to you soon. Bye-bye.